Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the scene for the Changeling family. Again, we have Commander Valarius, and he is getting his last bit of notes ready for his meeting with Duchess Megan at Gwydion, where she is supposedly available somewhere in Home Fires. Recently, him and Dorian have just finished a routine workout that Valerius does with his troops. He has not spared him and has taught him as much as he can, hoping that, he'll one day turn into something much better than he already is. That maybe one day, if he would want, that he would be lucky enough to join Valerius in one of his many battles and get some glory and prestige for himself. Some glory for Gwydion, still remembering his one of his knights from a very long time ago. That was a very honorable and well-known Gwydion with surprising knowledge of tactics. Valerius looks to Dorian. Are you ready?
And
Dorian,
Dorian at this point meets his eye this time. It's been a lot of growing up this past month. Seeing battle, living with a man like Valarius. He says, "Yes, sir. Quite, sir."
good. Alright, as Valerius puts on his Fiona tunic, fastening it, and makes his way on to home fires with his reports intel.
Okay, you make your way up. It is an apartment complex. You make your way through the artist community that is there, and you see the entrance to the freehold. You go first through the main hallway past the kitchens, and you get to the individual apartments. Some are quite a bit larger than others, but eventually you find some of the Gwydions you recognize from last time you went to go and see Duchess Megan. And you will, in fact, see Duchess Megan with Babe on her hip um, near what looks like that same balcony you were talking to her last time. She's leaning against a statue of a massive griffin and talking to somebody else that is also decked out in the Gwydion livery.
Mm. Valerius will wait until, not to interrupt, and then we'll slowly look to Dorian to see if he's remembered his etiquette. Because even though this is his mom, she is still a duchess.
And Dorian looks and finally finds a knocker. Speaks to the knocker. The knocker runs off to the two of them, and it is that servant of that house that interrupts her, and she stops what she's doing, looks up, looks towards Valerius. Oh, yes, yes, come here, Valerius. We were just speaking of you.
Valerius would smile and approach and give a nice deep bow before he approaches her.
Good sir, I hear you were just in a battle.
Yes, victorious once again. Um,
Were you now?
yes, of course. He'd smile.
I hear the fighting was called off.
Yes, the fight was indeed cut off from someplace up on high. The
Hmm.
official statement is that we're to remain ever vigilant. And the Adhen are still our enemies, but there is a ceasefire.
The ceasefire, to my understanding, was just to last for that battle. I do hope somebody tells me when the war gets called off, when we win.
Yes. Well, the information that was given was very, forgive my language, poorly disseminated because we were literally in the thick of a battle. and then there was a horn and a trumpet.
I see. Yes, that must have been quite confusing.
Right. But more happy things that he says, I returned Dorian. He has grown a lot. I'm very impressed with him.
Well, good. Good. I'm glad to hear it. All in one piece, too.
Yes.
Here, boy. She motions towards Dorian. Say hello to your sister now. Now, your time is over. Have you learned much from Commander Valarius? Yes, ma'am. Quite a bit. Was not as I expected it. I see. I see. Well, we shall talk more later. Please, go and join your brothers. They're here. I've always borne she. Gwydion she says proudly to Valerius. So, I believe last time we were talking, we were speaking about my lack of a general.
Yes. No, it was just one of those situations where, just to keep you up to breast of what's been happening, at the last War Council, I was appointed as a ambassador to the Kingdom of Apples, to go see and speak with the Selkies. The Selkies, as it stands right now, are they want to side with us, but they need more information. And I believe their Queen Marala seems to trust me quite a bit.
I could never quite understand the Selkies. Those I only ever met two. I don't. You say you've met their queen?
I have.
Tell me, does she strike you as the trustworthy sort? Can she be trusted?
She strikes me as very motherly and very concerned about her people.
Motherly, but not weak, though.
Far from.
She. Oh, okay. Well then, good on you. Good on you. They may well yet be our allies.
If my negotiations go as planned, we will have again another ally. Just to keep her abreast, a new issue has decided to make me her sponsor as she learns the new ways of what it means to be a changeling in this society. She's coming along nicely.
Tell me, is she your ward then, or is she to be sworn into House Fiona?
I believe I'm going to give her that choice when she has finished her basic knowledge. It would be uncouth of me to strong arm her in such a way.
I see. You're just fostering her at this point, then. Well, that's quite a bit of responsibility.
Also, there's the other thing I wanted to mention is that a lot of the other changelings of note are starting to notice me, and given the certain amount of responsibilities that I've been given, it's becoming increasingly hard to perform in these capabilities if I have no weight behind what I'm saying. Yes, it is true I am seen as a war hero, but my deeds on the battlefield can only go but so far.
Tell me, do you know how people are promoted within House Gwydion?
I'm not familiar with. I had a night once and we spoke much of politics, but not to put him in unfavorable positions. I kept it very formal and light. Very formal and light.
I see. And there is nothing wrong with politics. But yes, I see where you could be conservative there. No, we favor trial by fiore, a test of martial prowess to prove yourself against one of our champions to show that Dawn favors you. Now, I actually believe you could make quite a fine general. Um, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I would have been a lot more hesitant, of course, an unproven Fiona, but things have changed quite a bit since then. And I would like to see you as my general. But it's not just me that you need to appease. It is the House Gwydion presence here in the Kingdom of Apples. And they would have their trial. Accompanied by a celebration, of course, feasting, and, all that goes with it. But it would have to be you. No champion, no second.
Absolutely.
All right, then. All right, I will send word to my brothers and husband.
Mm-hmm.
We shall get something planned. It'll be a terrific celebration. Because, of course, it'll be assumed that you will win.
It'll. Thank you very much, my lady.
You will face off against either another commander, but preferably a general. I'll see who I can get on such short notice, but expect it to be soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know, very.
It would also be a tremendous boon if, however, there's been something that has been bothering me as of late, but only something I could specifically share with my Duchess.
I see.
That I'm specifically serving under. Not to say that Duchess Arley is incapable, but I think you would have a better and more softer ear towards my point that I'm about to present. The point I'm about to present is that although I trust my troops, and I'm very, how should I say, very proud of them. However, as the war tires on and as they fight, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to keep some of the she nobles in check. As in, at the time of battle, there can only be we must strike as a unified force. But if nobles are trying to, granted, I'm not taking away from my granted duty to me. However, certain things and certain nobles seem to be very young in their arrogance, and certain things on the field need to be.
Your words are intriguing. Speak plainly.
I mean to say that I want dissent to arise amongst my troops because they believe that the nobles will abandon them as soon as the war is over. However, I have an idea, of course. I would never present a problem without a specific solution or something that I would have in mind. If you would favor me with at least your ear in this matter.
Yes, let's withdraw to a smaller chamber.
Okay.
And with that, Duchess Megan passes off the young babe to Dorian, and the two of you do move to what looks like the antechamber to her personal quarters.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Commander Valarius, what do you have to say?
What I want to say is that it might be seen as a good sign of trust that if a baron was able to a baron such as myself would be able to be a symbol of hope and truth to his troops, and being offered more responsibility to partake in the protection of a barony. It's proving to be more of a necessity more than something that's granted, so that there is less dissent amongst my troops. So we can see less as a master-slave relationship and more as a friend-to-friend relationship, that I have a stake to lose in this as well.
Friend to friend, I think it's quite plain we all have something to lose.
I
No,
know,
not friend to friend. It will never be friend to friend. There is a natural order.
of course, but they must not know that. So appearances are mandatory.
I fear your Fiona sympathies are getting in the way here. Tell me, what dissent in your troops do you fear? Has something happened?
So just talks of the recent commoners and how they're feeling that they need to not trust us, that they need to band together, and all of this. I believe that the last thing I would want is some sympathies to be taken away, and that the she would be seen as untrustworthy.
If they have grievances, they can air them in the Parliament of Dreams. That is why it was established, so that we wouldn't go back to the heyday of the Accordance War.
Of course, that is my whole point. But given the last circumstances of the things that have the both occurrences in the Parliament of Dreams, where you had two commoners, one titled, one not, that didn't end so well. So I would understand why they would be a little hesitant to express grievances.
They chose to do this in
Not that I'm disagreeing with you, but these are just my concerns.
All right. Noted.
Manipulation, persuasion.
Here to the ground in this matter.
I would like to know manipulation plus persuasion to prove the severity of the situation.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Standard difficulty.
With enchanting voice, that makes it a 4, correct?
Yep.
Spending a willpower.
Okay. Oh, you really want it.
And I needed it.
Got by 2, by the way.
I have a specialization in manipulating folks, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 2. I guess it's 3 successes. Wasn't the best.
Yeah. 3. Oh, no. 3 is good. It's better than 2, and 2 is doing it. Okay. She thinks on this. And she... Alright, this question is important. Do you know if this is concentrated dissent, or is this something that all the commoners are suddenly deciding to air out in the open in the middle of a war?
This is something that I've learned from speaking I would say this is part of the duty of a baron, is to be ever vigilant with his troops and speaking with them and learning what ails them, and just speaking with many of nobles. It's becoming more of a spread out issue instead of an isolated situation.
No, I believe you're concerned about this. I am. I want to know, what do you think sparked this off? Why now?
I believe it has something to do with the end of the war is coming and people are concerned.
The end. We'll see. They're concerned. They're concerned what's going to happen to them at the end?
Yes, of course. As I would if I didn't have my house to back me. I would be concerned as well. But, of course, it's more so quieting ramblings, and therefore. So if one was to say, if one was able to champion for them in such a way, it would be able to not only my presence would be there, though it would indeed be a master servant relationship. A modicum of my respect and prestige would also be granted to them, which is quite a bit. Not as much as most, but it's still fair enough. They would have a war hero to look
Champion
to.
for the common cause, though.
Not for the common, of course, just of course of the ability to show that the established order is what it is, and
Okay.
that it can be trusted.
Okay. I was thinking about that day in the Emerald Tower. For I was there too.
Emerald Tower was indeed a decision made in brass decisions. However, I will never shrug from my previous failings. I embrace them, for they are part of who I am.
All right. Please keep an eye out on this. If you find out what sparked this off, if you find out where it's coming from, if it's associated with a particular motley, a particular commoner freehold, or something, please tell me.
Understood.
I will keep my ear to the ground and you keep yours. We'll see what comes of it.
Understood, my lady.
Hmm. Well, all right then. I do need to get back to speaking with well, I do need to get back to speaking to Baron Kai, honestly. I have some news to give him, seeing as he might be fighting you soon.
And what of the barony, my good lady? Or is this something that needs more proof?
It's a very big deal. But I
It is
have
a very
got
big deal, but as most times of war happen, it's better to an ounce of precaution is worth more than an ounce of a cure.
understood. But that I need. You mean well. I feel that you do. But I need to observe you a little bit longer in that regard.
As you wish. My lady.
I find you. Yes, I do find you well-meaning. I have come to that conclusion, but you are hard for me to predict sometimes. And even somebody that means well might not necessarily be a good administrator over the lives of others. I
However,
believe you are skilled on the battlefield, and I would like you as my general. But yes, let me just wait on the barony.
but as the most things that you learn within the realms of politics, if I'm easy to predict, am I better to serve you? My actions are
I
do
am what I am. I like predictable. I was not given predictable with you. You fell into my lap, and I've been staring at you oddly ever since. Hmm.
very well.
But no, no. I will. I will talk with the Duchess Arle
Hmm.
and see what conclusions I come to.
Very well.
So excuse me, my good sir.
The Baron Valarius would bow deeply and make his way out. Probably give a firm handshake to Dorian and then head on his way home.
Okay, and you'll see that she's motioning for Kai to come in after you and stuff, and he's looking a little bit confused. As you go through the blah of home fires and stuff, a lot of people are talking about causes of the ceasefire and so forth. Just from general you lightly eavesdropping as you move, like you're not putting in a special amount of effort or something. You get the impression a lot of these commoners and you know untitled nobility and so forth like that, they're not quite sure why the ceasefire was called. They've got some sinister ideas, they've got some baffled ideas, but that is what everybody's talking about.
Understood.
Okay, and we'll end scene here if you're good with it.
Yep, we can end scene here.